Hello and welcome to Chicagoland. We are here for round 10 of the USARC Autonation Cup Series season for the Quaker State 500. We've got 42 cars in the bright, sunny city of Joliet, Illinois. We've seen these cars before, these cookie cutter ovals. The ANCS package has been brilliant so far this season, at all tracks to be fair. But we are really, as we reach crunch time, the chase is looming. We're going to see an absolute cracker of a race today.
Should be a good one. We got 81 laps ahead of us, and it's a traditional track for these ANCS drivers, which helps a lot because we've seen some new tracks this season. It's shaking up the schedule a bit and shaking up the drivers a bit. There's a lot of names in this field who you'd expect to see winning races so far this season, but a lot of them have struggled. Ricky Freeman Jr., story with him. He never won. Finally got it done last year, has a win to his name. Justin Whitmer, so dominant the first two seasons, only has one win to his name. And then you had the variability of the Cup Series as well, with guys like Maverick McAlton up here in the 16, the 25 car as well, starting in the top 10. It's shakeups, but I think at a track like this, where we've been to a bunch in USARC history, these drivers are going to know what to do. The experienced ones, they know what they need to do to have success here. They will shine. They will win.
Of course. I mean, it's interesting to see how, with the rest of the season playing out and there's being different races, different types of racetrack. Obviously, Alton Park is coming up. It's good to have a little bit of normalcy, even if it's just for a little bit. The guys who are good on the ovals, like the speedways and super speedways, they can have a couple rounds where they can build up on results before, the tracks like Alton Park and stuff like that, where it's basically a wild card.
We did talk about something similar to this ahead of the APS race, how Chicagoland has really become a staple of the USARC schedule. Some very memorable races in the APS, and I'm sure that will translate over to the ANCS. On that note, speaking of the APS, we do have to mention Joe Zeller. It has now been confirmed he will be out for the foreseeable future. He'll be out for at least 8 weeks with a fractured vertebra and a broken collarbone. It's Wyatt Wilkinson who takes the wheel of the 64 in his absence. A very big opportunity for a driver who's been around USARC since day one, but he's never really had a big break. He starts deep in the field, but that car is quick, so we know what that equipment can do. This may be his big time to shine, as we all wish Joe Zeller the best in his recovery.
Looking back at Wyatt Wilkinson, just in general, I mean, it's a very interesting career path. He had his own team for a little bit, and that team basically bankrupted itself because it expanded way too quickly, too fast. And he took some time away. He came back, and he hasn't really had many good rides, and it was really a struggle. And you were starting to think, well, is this guy ever going to make it? Now he's got an opportunity to truly show what he's made of, and I'm quite excited to see how he does.
It will be interesting for sure, and these feel-good stories help a lot after what had been honestly, a cloud over this race coming in, although it is sunny today. But the APS race just saw a lot of hard crashes and action that was just a lot different than some of the other USARC races have been in the past. Or the danger was put back in the sport. That's concerned a lot of fans, a lot of drivers, and it's also concerning because we have players in this field that are going to want to come up from the back of the grid. Peter Onjak starting all the way down in 36th. He has 3 top 5s this season, but he's almost half the races this year have been sub 25th in his results. Even further back, Boback Fox is 4th in the point standings, looking for good runs. We'll need to have to drive through this field. Aiden Smith holds a wild card right now, but starting at the very last row. If somebody else gets 2 wins, he's back right on the hot seat.
I'll tell you what, the apprehension, and you touched on it there, between fans and drivers has been... I have never seen a weekend in USARC where it's been so openly worrying for teams and drivers. Personally, I don't think anything's going to happen today, but You know, you never know. This is auto racing. Anything can and will happen. I'm just hoping for a safe and clean race today.
Very much so. Just a few more things to touch on. Eli Stillworth, the only car to fail inspection. Not a great weekend at all for the REM team. Very poor race in APS. And, well, a far from ideal start to their ANCS weekend. Another piece of news as well. Maston Rimmel is in the 42 now. He is making his ANCS debut today. Former SSR driver, currently at TGR in the Aaron's Pro Series. Ben Crouch has very suddenly quit the team mid-weekend. Obviously ran the APS race, but seemingly a fallout there after he got involved in an accident as a result of being turned by his teammate and boss. So Maston Rimmel on debut here today at Chicagoland, and I believe that concludes our pre-race ceremonies.
Well, I did want to say, during the Aaron's Pro Series race, I did mention that, and you know what? I didn't expect it to go that nuclear, if that was indeed the case. You know, I don't know for sure what happened, but I can make an assumption that it was involving that was the catalyst in Crouch leaving.
Though clearly some very strong words shared behind the scenes. And I'm sure we'll get more on that as the week progresses into the next race weekend. So without further ado, I believe we are ready for the command. We'll be right back to get engines fired. We are back here at Chicagoland, moments away from the command.
Drivers, start your engines!
Very enthusiastic command.
And with that, 42 engines roaring to life here at Chicagoland Speedway. And we'll run through your top 10 starting lineup very quickly. It's a very short pace lap here. It's Luke Evans and Ricky Freeman Jr. On the front row. Behind them, it's one-time winner this season at Michigan, Justin Whitmer, and Maverick McColton with a very strong qualifying in fourth. Then it's the Daytona Motorsports duo, both winless this season, Stephen Colon and Riley Spurley. Then it's Jacques Rigel, Lotus Espirito, and Angel Gutierrez with a decent qualifying, taking up row 4, and then rounding up the top 10, it's Jacques Rigel and Carter Swab in the number 88 Walmart Dodge. So really interesting top 10 actually. Lots of well-established drivers that you'd expect to see up here, but also some equally who are a bit of a surprise to be here, really.
Yeah,
For sure.
I've got my eye... Oh, you can go ahead.
All right. Well, for sure, because, and the interesting thing about this, a lot of these drivers need wins. Evans, Cologne, Spurley Tube, Disparito, Rigel, all need wins this season. And the drivers that do have wins, Freeman Jr., Whitmer, they need consistency. Even Benedict Murdo, they're starting in 11th, the points leader. No one's been consistent this season, and it's time to lock in and go racing from Chicagoland.
Green flag is out. Round 10 of the Autonation Cup Series is underway, and it's a very even start from the front row. The 10's going to peek ahead through 1.
Evans did a very good job of clearing the field. That was very good.
Gonna have to cover the inside, though, into 3. Whitmer's got a big head of steam into the corner, but Evans covers as McColton drives it in on Freeman, pushes the 41 up the track.
I was gonna say, on the pace lap, I have my eye on Maverick McColton today.
I think he got caught out there though. Just lost momentum because he drove in too deep. Evans hemorrhaging positions now.
And now here comes Freeman on the bottom.
Oh, there's a car in the wall in the back.
Up on the high side through 3 and 4. Got a big run through the triovals. Now inside over his former team owner, Justin Whitmer. No lifting into 3 out of these 2.
Oh, man.
Oh, 18 scraped the wall, but he's carried the run.
A piece of the wall.
Composite bodies, he should be fine as he pulls up, side drafting the 41 through the trioval.
Freeman's going to drive it in deep, try and clear the 18.
That's aggressive from Freeman. Very aggressive.
He's done it, but I think the momentum lies with Whitmer. Possibly even the 10 or the 3. Whitmer looking inside.
Oh, Cologne is looking very strong early. But Whitmer's going to drive low. He'll be able to take the position away from Ricky Freeman Jr., and he's got the 3 of Stephen Cologne pushing him. Now Cologne goes to the bottom as the 18 of Whitmer goes up the track. Cologne is going to take the lead.
He's in a very vulnerable position in the point standings, needs to secure that with either a good run and especially a win. Clears for the lead, but the crossovers and slide jobs continue here at Chicagoland. Whitmer in the Mayo machine firing it back up the inside. Cologne will probably not get the run off the top that time. He had a big moment and caution is out.
It looks like a couple cars. Steelwolf as well from the back, possibly as well Romashko involved. The 42 of Rimmel held up at the back, but little damage on that car. Early yellow is out, and it looks like it's happened right at the back of the field.
Yeah.
That's the only way we're going to get a breather today because, oh my goodness, that was all out racing.
And what we missed by that, I believe, was the 3 and 4 wide action all the way throughout the pack as well.
You know what that felt like? Watch the early laps of like a 1990s Michigan 500 kart race with the Hanford device, where they're just getting runs out of nowhere and they're slipstreaming past each other. It's very, very entertaining.
And we're going to see some split strategy here.
They're all coming in. Well, not everybody.
Kopsky, Vargas, importantly, some drivers, big drivers in this field at the back of the grid, taking risks and staying out. Luna Bennington as well. Have to watch that. I'm wondering, though, are we going to see some fuel onlys, or are we going to take tires this early? It looks like the Jacks aren't going up on the 3. No, he's away. Freeman's taking tires. Evans and McAlton are not. So, even split strategy of the cars that came down, and Freeman and Rigel, the 2 Orange Auto cars, going for 4 early.
And I wonder if Ondrak took tyres as well. I would guess not, because he's not lost as many positions as his teammates have, but very interesting strategical call from Ondrauto early on. Clearly they've got big plans for the rest of this race, and Blair McKenzie is without a hood. Clearly some contact on pit road, as you mentioned.
Yeah, I saw a bit of moving around. I don't know if it was that bad, but clearly it was for Blair McKenzie if she's losing the entire hood of that car.
The damage on the 55 as well. Not a great start for 555 at all.
55 was involved. I saw that.
And
been a lot of heartbreak for 555 this year.
Alexander Rowe, Dustin Strew, Romashko's picked up damage on pit road, as has the 46. So we've had a handful of cars get into an incident on pit road. That looks quite big, actually.
For Masui there, but Dustin Strew as well. That's even worse. Qualified in the top 15, still looking for sponsors on his Toyota, but that's a shame. But
I will say
we do need to see what happened on track as well, and then
it's kind of hard to tell.
Pit road mess.
Kind of hard to tell if I can just get in here real quick. Sorry, but it's kind of hard to tell if this damage is from the pit lane or it's from the incident on the backstretch. You know, I haven't gotten a replay yet, so I can't really tell for sure. But I did feel like I needed to clarify that real quick.
Caution early on here at Chicagoland. Whitman leads now from Disburito, Spurley Tube, and a plethora of other cars staying out early on. We'll be right back with a replay. Heading into turn number 1, you can see Bonk Borger there on the inside, checks up, and clearly he did not know the 11 was coming hard on the outside, so into the 80 as well, hitting the wall, and Romashko being held up slightly there as well. So they done early for Steelwolf, but the 11 able to continue. Well, this is slowing down under yellow. Look at DeLello here. Just hooks it left ever so slightly and gets into the 62, into the wall. And then a few cars have nowhere else to go. So a slight incident here under yellow. Big damage on the 52. Far from ideal. DeLello with damage.
My apologies.
Yeah,
my apologies to Bulk Borger. That was worse.
I'm assuming that the USARC officials will have a look at that one at some point, maybe after the race. Yeah, interesting explanation for sure from DeLello after this race, I imagine. Welcome back to Chicagoland. Justin Whitmer still leads. We're about to go green on lap 9, sorry. Disburito, Spurley Tube, Brennan, Riemann, your top 5. Then it's Angel Gutierrez, Luna Bennington, Daniel Boyles, Reese Kupski, and Christian Vargas, your top 10. Heading on to this restart. So really interesting running order now. The front I believe it's
11.
the top 11 have not pitted. However, under pit road, we saw a various difference in strategy. Tyres, fuel for some. We're going to see how that plays out. Green flag is back up. The 08 did not get going at all.
No, and he's going to hold up. The car behind.
Allow Spurley 2 to make the look through 1 and 2 as they climb up to speed up through the gears and onto the Brandt back straightaway. Whitmer pulling away, but the field is single file, but I know just very quickly here, you already see it through 3 and 4. We're already back to side-by-side racing. Voiles just chased the 25 up back there in the lower rungs of the top 10.
And Greenman's gone from 5th to 2nd in a lap, already having a very strong day here early on. Sights on the 18 as the 8 really high up the track. There's a bit of contact. They're going to keep it clean.
On to it, Spurley.
And for the lead, there goes Greenman very easily.
Maybe too easily, drove it in deep. Here comes Whitmer back on the crossover, nearly into the quarter panel, and we're 3 wide. Here comes Bennington.
Brennan's having a look.
Bottom. 3 wide for the lead into 1. Oh,
Whitmer, wise veteran move, backs out of it. Greenman charges up the high side. BPM has come out to play today. But Bennington, is there any answer into turn 3? I think there might be, but no. The 15 too far out, covers the inside, has the lead. And where did the 1 of Cameron Brennan come from?
Opted not to pit, and it's paying off, looking very competitive now in this restart phase. Here comes Bennington again.
Oh, but don't look now. 4 tires are winning out. RFJ is already back up into the top 10, the first of the pitters to really be cutting through this field.
I wonder where Rigel is as well. Here he is.
I was really wondering how those new tires were going to play out for some of these guys, so it's interesting to see them already cutting through the field.
A few only guys have kept even with where they ran, but it seems like only the 41 has been able to make up any ground. And look at this. He is going for it up there for 2nd now underneath the 8.
They'll be able to get by the 8 of Riley Spurley tube. So, Ricky Freeman Jr., but now he's got the 4. Oh, Bennington fell back a little bit.
Really poor corner. Just had to check up. Going to hold up Whitmer now. Blocks him down to the inside line. Brennan's going to check up behind. Oh, and here comes Spurley fighting back on the 41. I don't think he's going to have the traction to be able to adequately put up a fight. I think at the moment, RFJ, the lead is going to be his in a matter of laps. Maybe even less.
For Anthony Greenman, this is the run he needs. He has been all but anonymous this season. And for that 15 car to be out leading this race over a lot of strong competitors shows he still has it. And BPM, I'm not sure the length of his contract, but it really hasn't worked out so far. I mean, he took over that 15 ride from Freeman, who decided to move to Orange Auto instead. And I think finally the Parts Plus Dodge is showing some muscle.
Been a very strong APS season for Greenman, currently the points leader. Finished 2nd to Whitmer in yesterday's race. And he's having a decent run here. Clearly knows his way around Chicagoland, but he's going to concede the lead here possibly. He's got that high line and that middle to high line really nailed down as the Daytona Motorsports cars.
Whoa!
Very close.
That was close.
I would be very surprised if Spurley Tube did not just kiss the wall there. That was a huge moment.
Got a lead change.
RFJ to the point here on lap 17.
Car's got it. He's going to try that high side now, but you see it. We got finally through a long run. These drivers are settling in, calming down. It's single file.
Trouble.
No, they're not calming down. I say that the caution is out. It's all gone wrong for Wilkinson.
Oh, you hate to see that. Oh, no.
Drew as well, very slow on the back straightaway. Wyatt Wilkinson's debut run for JDR ends in the wall and up in smoke.
Greenman's gotten the lead out of this. He got it racing back while we were watching the 64 limp. As Spurley looked like he had a run on Freeman as well, but the caution's out. Can't do that. And now what do you do if you're the leaders? I think if you're the top 11 on last restart, you pit. Does Freeman pit? I mean, you see the tire advantage now. You take 4 tires, you are able to pass cars.
It's a no-brainer, isn't it?
I would be surprised if we don't see every single car pitting right now.
I wonder if Wilkinson's actually going to get in the way here. Looks not
Maybe
everyone's
just
pitting.
Slightly, but
It is pretty substantial damage, and I think
Oh, he's just charged into the
hit
back of
someone else
the...
on-
Yeah.
Yeah.
He just charged into the back of the 07 on heading down into pit road. I wonder if that's going to be
frustration
compromising.
maybe, or
Yeah.
just you can't see over the crunched
Could
up
be the-
sheet metal, but I'm sure that was not intentional.
No, it might even be the brakes.
4 tyres for Greenman. And I want to look at
Four
RFJ
tires
as
for
well.
everybody.
At least outsides for the 41. No, yeah, he's going to
everybody's
take...
going full.
Yeah.
So it seems like the
Interesting.
big winners were the driver.
Ooh.
It's mixed.
Whoa!
Contact a lot of contact now with McAlton. We saw this at Charlotte. We can't see it again, and that's going to really hurt Justin Whitmer, as the BPM cars seem to be the big losers, as well as Freeman Jr., who comes out way
Freeman
down
Jr.
now.
Oh, he fell like a rock.
The top 2. Who won the race off?
I think we were slightly preoccupied with that piece of contact. Cameron Brennan.
Yeah, it was Cameron Brennan.
And then Disparito. Gutierrez in 3rd. Bennington quietly maintaining a top 5 position. Then it's Greenman, then Whitmer. And yeah, the 07 doesn't seem to be too affected by that small bump from the 64. Peter Onjak from the back of the field looking very strong. Ahead of RFJ, interestingly enough, as well.
It'll be something to touch on for sure after we get a look at what has put us under caution and what has put the 64 out of the race here in Joliet.
When you see going down into turn number 1 here, Wilkinson on the low line, and he's just going to get hooked hard into the outside wall by the 76 there, and just that is not an accent that you want to see. Thankfully, Wilkinson able to drive away. He was okay, but his day is over, and his debut for Joe Zeller comes to a vicious end.
Welcome back to Chicagoland. Cameron Brennan, tyre down on the number 1 car. Your race leader down pit road. A lap before we go back green.
Can't make it up, can you?
Thankfully, it's under caution, and it's not as soon as the restart happens, so we will be able to join the back of the field, not lose laps like you would pitting under green here at Chicagoland.
Still, though, it's one hell of a gut punch to him.
Front of this field is interesting now, because you have Disparito, you have Gutierrez, Bennington, and then obviously the 15-18-8, who we've seen up here a lot. Reese Kupski as well, 22-07-14 kind of getting up here. Seems like if you're not at the head of pit road, because we saw incidents there at Charlotte, and we saw a little bit of one today at these 1.5 miles, that might be better. I mean, USARC pit selection is not exactly random, but if you have to start in the back at one of these tracks, maybe these are the tracks to do it.
I just want to mention, hats off to Maston Rimmel, currently running 16th in his Cup Series debut. So really good run for him, and FSR not looking too shabby at the moment as well, with Reese Kupski inside the top 10 alongside Luna Bennington. It's going to be the 08 of Lotus Disparito for Toyota Gazoo Racing. They'll lead them back around to the green flag. Green flag back out again, and once again the 08 didn't exactly get the best start there.
No, and now
Back
Bennington's
into
going to
the
try to
inside.
take advantage.
3 wide already as well.
Gonna be interesting to see how it goes. Spurley Tube has the advantage of the 3 wide pair in the back. Now Rigel, Greenman, Kupski, they're all in that too.
Whoa.
Gutierrez is blocks again on the 8. Can't do it though. Spurley Tube rolling that splitter along the yellow line of the apron. Charging here. Look at this. 2 and 3 wide into turn 1. Are they all going to make it out?
They're at least 4 abreast there through turn 1 for a moment. That was Gutierrez riding the high side, and it's worked for him. He's going to clear for 4. And it's still chaos behind. Look at this, guys.
They are all over each other.
No room for error as the 25 and 8 continue jawing at one another. Stephen Colon had a terrible pit stop, and he is already back up to 3rd. Shout out to the Coca-Cola Ford Mustang.
Very good run for Daytona Motorsports at the moment, but it could all come to end so quickly. What's going on here? And here comes the 8 for the lead.
Up that 8 car for a big drive here into turn 3 underneath Luna Bennington.
Who
thought about a look underneath this burrito, can't do it. Slide the 8 to 2nd.
Spurley Tube, what a lap.
That might be one of the best laps overall you're going to see this season in USARC. What a drive by the Body Armor Machine. Racing Redemption at his hands because he lost out with another good run at the last 1.5 miles in Charlotte. But now Bennington up the inside once again. And add Lexi Herman to the mix. Have not seen them. They're looking to tie Aiden Smith for 2 wins on the wild card.
Oh, Freeman Jr. made it very tight on the bottom. I'm surprised it worked out for him.
I don't know what everyone's done to their cars under this last yellow, but everyone's running so deep, and then they get really tight on corner exit. Look at Bennington up the track now.
I think it's just the grip. It's the grip of these Goodyear tires on this surface. It's an old surface. You wouldn't expect these cars to stick, but I think the weather's just worked today. They're able to drive it in so much, but it might just be a little bit too greedy. Just leaning too much into being a racing driver and not being calculated, and that sends them up the track. It's all about run management here at a track. You're basically wide open throughout most of the lap.
That door closed very quickly.
Oh my god,
and now it's going to close
again!
And Bennington scraped the wall as a result.
Dangerous part of the track.
Indeed.
That could have been race over for the 4 and 14. We've seen them get into incidents, run-ins, and good battles throughout both their USARC careers, but that one was almost early drama. Cannot be doing that with still 2/3 of this race to go.
Look at how many cars were right behind them, too. If they made contact and hit the wall, it's going to be right on the front porch of everybody else. It could have been a massive accident. Thankfully, that did not happen.
Still 2 and 3 wide throughout this pack. Incredible racing. I look down below me at the grandstands. Not a fan has sat down since this restart. They are all on their feet cheering for the action we're seeing today here at Chicagoland. As we're side by side for the lead once again, Bennington is going to take it over the 53.
Almost like a pack race here. It's slowly starting to spread out now, but still chaotic nonetheless. 3 wide here. The 01's going to drive it really deep. I think they were 4 abreast at one point there. Oh, and a huge block from the 07.
Not going to matter. Kupski's still going to send it in.
Oh, Rigel wants a piece of it as well.
Yeah, he thought about 4 wide, but thought better of it.
Yeah, I don't know if that was really going to be the best option for him.
Bennington making an attempt at checking out here, but we've not really seen that succeed at Chicagoland. And I wonder now if we can just maybe settle into a slightly longer run and just see what these tyres can do when they are really worn down, as RFJ's clawed back up into the top 10, inside the top 5 now, looking for the lead with help from his teammate.
Oh yeah, the Anjado cars, all 3 of them are dialed in today.
And we're talking about dialed in. We're 3 wide for the lead right now. That was something I was not expecting to see. As Freeman all over the track nearly gets cleaned out by the 53 of Herman, who was not expecting the Tequila Patron machine in front of her to back out. And somehow, some way, it's Bennington still holding it down out in front.
Hell, I was expecting the 53 to go into the wall.
5-star racing we're seeing right now.
Spectacular to watch.
Still 3 wide throughout the top 10 and top 20. But now Bennington holds the lead, but it really looks like she's struggling to pull away. Cologne up the track.
I do worry, as these tires age, that some of these moves aren't going to be able to stick, and we're going to see drivers running into each other, trying to make those slide jobs work.
Well, we've already seen drivers running into each other with very fresh tyres, so I imagine it will only get worse from there. But for now, we are now starting to fan out as we look through the field. Oh no!
Oh no!
There it is! Aston Rimmel and Brennan.
Oh.
2 drivers got sent to the back of the field. Look out!
Oh, that could have been massive.
Thank God it wasn't, as coming back to the line, I believe Bennington's
break.
still going to have the lead of this race. Yes, it's
A very tough break for Massive.
it finally settled out the front of the field, and we're all going to be packed up once again.
Oh, I can't believe that for Aston Rimmel. That's such a shame. His first race with Full Send Autosport, Full Send Racing. My apologies, and just I can't believe that. That's really sad to see.
Looks to be no damage on his car at least. Can't say the same for Cameron Brennan, who, you know, he'll understandably probably be quite angry with that. The only reason he's in that accident is because his tyre went down. So we are seeing pit stops here, and it looks like it's everyone.
It was scary though. Brennan was sitting broadside towards the track. I'm just so glad nobody hit him.
Right sides for Onjak and left, so that's a statement for the rest of the field. I'm looking up and down pit road, and it looks like the consensus is 4 tyres once again. I wonder if we're seeing a situation similar to the Aaron's Pro Series at Hillside, where tyre wear is such a big factor, as Onjak's going to win the race off pit road ahead of his teammate.
Bennington lost a handful of spots there too. It'll be interesting to see how she can cope with that, if she can move up the field again or not.
Hats off to Angel Gutierrez in this part-time RGR entry. Has, amongst all this, maintained that top 10 run. Some very good stops pulled out by the 25 crew today. Greenman's found herself back up in the top 10. Whitmer's fallen back slightly, same for the 8. And Cologne as well, so Daytona Motorsports. Really not a great set of pit stops for them, but it's Peter Onjak who leads. We are approaching the halfway point of the race. We'll probably restart around lap 40. But in the meantime, we'll catch a quick replay to see what's brought out the 3rd caution of the Quaker State 500. Heading through turn 2, the 42 checks up. Similar to the first incident, doesn't see Brennan. And then they get squeezed onto the wall. Impact from himself as well. And Brennan and Rimmel go spinning. Lucky to not be hit by any other cars. Could have been a very nasty accident. But luckily, everyone has been able to continue on. And Rimmel's case especially, very minor damage indeed. So we'll be right back to get the second half of this race back underway. Welcome back to Chicagoland. We are going to restart on lap 38 of 81. Onjak is your leader. He started in 36th, by the way. Another great run coming through from the back for Peter Onjak. He did the same, I believe it was at Darlington. And in that race, his teammate was up here as well, running 1-2 for a brief moment. We'll see if they can do it again on this restart. But been an interesting race so far. I think at this point, everyone, including the drivers, is hoping for a slightly longer run. Maybe some green flag stops even.
And that could happen because I don't want to pat myself on the back too much. You look at that top 10, all longtime veterans of this series. So they know their limits. They know how to race. It's still very early. We're still a couple laps away from halfway, but it's just time not to cross them. Give these fans a chance to just settle in and enjoy this race and see if we can get some on-pace strategy out, because you don't come to races to see the cautions. You come to see the green flag, and we're back to it.
I was about to say, for the first time first restart today, we've seen Desperato's been on it immediately.
Possibly a run here coming from the 08 on RFJ, but RFJ with a run coming on the 14 as well. The 10 diving it in.
Luke Evans had a big run.
They're a lot more spread out than the last restart as well.
You know what? Maybe that's a good thing, as all 3 on-jack cars are in this little gaggle. You can see Jacques Ragel, he's joined this little party of the 3 on-jack cars.
Worried it wasn't going to be for long with the 4 sliding up.
Yeah.
Ragel's inside. Here comes Bennington. He's knocked down the order a little bit on that last round of pit stops, but trying to march back up.
Oh, no.
And Green's
No,
blowing up.
no! Heartbreak for a driver who needed the good run. Anthony Greenman finally looked like the tides had turned, led the race earlier, fell back after some pit stops, and now the engine has expired. Down pit road, we'll bring it into the box. Frustration for sure, but we will stay green.
And I thought we were spread out on the restart, and that's why. Look at everyone. I guess it's kind of done the field a favour if they want a green flag run, but yeah, for sure. I mean, heartbreak for Greenman. I imagine for now it's full focus on the APS season to try and win that championship.
Everybody trying to grip search, trying to find some runs. Can't really do it, though. I do have to give a lot of credit to the 25 of Angel Gutierrez. Did not elect to run in the Cup Series like a lot of their fellow competitors did. Decided to focus on the APS Championship like Greenman may be doing now, but still showing out in part-time attempts. It's what this team needs. Good runs, and the Hardy's machine up here in the top 5 pulling their weight.
Just about every race they've run this year, it's just been same sort of thing. Logging laps, trying to get a good finish, and if they keep it up there, it'll be great for the team.
Slightly further back in the pack here. Here's Christian Vargas trying to make the high line work, getting very close with
Murdo was doing no favors there either.
Well, it's not like Murdo to ever do favours for other drivers in USARC anyway, so nothing too out of character there.
We know he's a long-time aggressive driver, so it really comes as no surprise that he's going to push the 0 up there. As Gutierrez goes high, as well as Herman.
Santiago as well.
We have something today we have not seen yet, and that is a breakaway for your top 2.
Oh yeah, look at that. Nearly a second put out between Evans and Ricky Freeman Jr. It looks like the 10's trying to work on some different lanes at the moment.
He will. Here comes Lotus Desperado.
That's certainly not going to help them. However, I think the 10's had a really poor 3 and 4, and it's going to bunch him back up. Gap's actually stayed the same, although Onjak has pulled out. I believe he's doubled his gap to the 10.
It's definitely ebbing and flowing. That's the nature of these Chicagoland races have been with these slide jobs. There's some times where you'll nail the corner, and sometimes you might just get out of groove, catch one of the pavement seams in the racetrack, lose a little time. They're not catching seams back here. They are going at it. Nicholas Santiago on a charge, up to 3rd in the Castrol Camry.
I think RFJ didn't see that one coming. He looked a bit mugged there on the outside. Bennington's going to try and occupy a bit of real estate in between RFJ and the 07, and it's going to work.
Oh, everyone's going to try to get by Freeman. Here comes his own teammate on him.
That's a bit close there for the 08 and the 4. Bennington darting out to the inside now as well, but Santiago now at least. Well, I was about to say he was holding 3rd place down quite well, but Bennington there opening the door, and she's going to have a nose ahead into turn 3.
Taking a look at some of the players up here right now, and never mind, here comes Luke Evans, caught on Jack napping nearly into the left rear of the 14. He was not expecting the 10 to have that run of speed, nor was I expecting that to tighten up so much here in the booth, but Evans to the lead, maybe not for long. Onjek with the crossover. We're side by side down the back, just like that.
The 10 drove it a bit too deep into turn 2, and that gave Onjak all the invitation he needed to retake the lead, but he's now going to face an attack from the outside, swinging now inside maybe. Looks like Evans just can't get the run working enough to get underneath Onjak. They're 3 wide for third.
As we drift back here, I was going to mention the 07 and the 08. TGR, they seem to only have, they've only had 2 good races this year where their lead 2 cars, Desperado and Santiago, have finished good. Daytona and Michigan, both of their Camrys finished top 5. Otherwise, it's been a lot of what ifs, a lot of heartbreak, some good runs and some bad runs. But is this going to be another day for this pair to both finish way up at the head of the field?
They're both certainly at this point very much chase contenders. Santiago, they're weaving through traffic, and I think he drove it slightly too deep. Oh, I believe we're fighting for the lead again. Yes, we are.
Oh yeah, Evans has the advantage this time over the 14.
I got pinched off
Maybe
in
not
the
for long.
corner though.
Yeah,
Evans,
Onjak did a very good job there.
I just don't know if that 10 car has the oomph the 14 does around this track. I mean, Onjak drove away, Evans did chase him down, but you have to wonder, is the 14 saving? We've seen a lot of races won by Peter Onjak on these big ovals. And Luke Evans still searching for their second career win in USARC as a whole. Will it come today? Both of them looked fierce at Charlotte, and now on another mile and a half, the veterans are scrapping it out once again.
I think the run's definitely going to come from Onjak in what could easily be considered his home race. Yet to win here, though. Came very close last year in Season 2. Lost on fuel mileage to Kyler Sustrai. Here he comes again on the inside.
Way up on the racetrack.
Got the better run, though.
High. Yeah, he'll be able to hold on.
Drivers just able to pack that air up against that outside wall, use it to propel their car forward on exit, and also as well, coming through the corners, using that wider radius, you're able to carry more speed, which helps tremendously on exit. But Onjak says, that doesn't matter. I'm going to side draft you and blow by you in 1 and 2, because I want to win this race. It's my home track. And Evans says, we need to get the UK on the schedule ASAP, so I can do that here, and I'm going to steal it from you here at Chicagoland. Here he comes back up the inside. No! I thought he was going to make the move. It does not happen.
14 hugged the apron there to block him.
You could almost call it the Brits trying to take over Chicagoland here. To the bottom of the track, Luke Evans goes. He's going to try to make a move, but Onjak just has the advantage. Through there, he has the run. But Evans is going to come back at him down the back straightaway.
He was certainly having a peek into turn 3. And I tell you what, a drive like this for Luke Evans. There have been some doubts this season by certain critics about his position at SSR, yet to win there in his second season, halfway through his second season. But a drive like this, you can see why he was picked by SSR to take the reins of the number 10 machine in the Cup Series. A really good drive here against one of the sport's all-time greats.
And you want to talk about good drives, racing for the lead, slide jobs, crossovers, close racing. They put 2 seconds on the rest of the field. Freeman's all the way back there in third, miles back it feels like, even though it's only 2 seconds. And especially if you're going to have Desperado and Bennington jawing at each other like that, that's not going to work. That's not going to work as well. Whitmer and Raquel into the wall. Gutierrez caught up in it as well. No. Can they all avoid? I hope so. Oh, Carter Swab barely gets through, and Cameron Brennan does not.
Deary me.
Pretty good heads-up driving there from Raquel. I thought he was going to get hit hard. He moved out of the way.
There's that old tires. There's that losing grip.
Yeah.
And I think
to see what happens.
I do think is what's happened to Luke Evans. He probably just took the caution last time by.
Yeah, I believe so.
Sorry about that little scare there, but
no, I noticed it as well for a second.
This should be the final stop coming.
If it is, it will be. I mean, in terms of fuel, I think they'll be fine. But in terms of tire wear, from this point, they will be struggling come lap 81. So I think it's a little bit hard to tell if you want to risk that, possibly. But everyone, I imagine, will come down.
caught up nicely to the back of the leader, so it won't be an unfair gap with when the caution came out and when everybody raced back. That'll be nice. And what stalls are going to work? We're going to see drama at the back, or we're going to see drama at the front. Will it all be clean on pit road? Let's hope so.
Yeah, well, I was about to say it was around this time at the Charlotte race a few weeks ago where we had that race-defining moment on pit road involving the TGR cars and Justin Whitmer. So, yeah, fingers crossed it's all clean here. On Jack. Oh, no!
That was not clean.
I think he'll be okay. Contact on the right-hand side for Justin Whitmer, the 62 pulling into his pits. And contact as well with the number 4. Bennington turned in pit road.
Not clean at all.
Well, Evans beat the 14 out.
Ooh.
Close.
I don't know if he did.
Yeah, I think it was too close to call there from the naked eye. But, yeah, contact for Onjak on pit road. We'll have to see how severe that is. I can't see any damage. I think he'll be okay, which is what we want to see. We want to see these cars at the front in tip-top shape to battle it out in this final phase of the race, as Rigel and Whitmer, as you may expect, receiving extensive service. Gutierrez, all the way at the back as well. So I wonder if something's happened to the 25 machine.
They were in that wreck.
Yeah.
They were.
Yeah, I would imagine he's been involved.
So with that all said and done, I believe we are ready for another commercial break to go and see the replay for the 4th caution of the day. We'll be right back here at Chicagoland.
Alright, so here is the replay. Rigel and Justin Whitmer, and yeah, that's you don't do that. You don't do that at all. Frankly, if I'm Jacques Rigel, I'm going to be lobbying to have Peter Onjak send Justin Whitmer the repair bill, because that was driving like a goddamn moron out there. I can't believe that. I really don't... What was the end game there, other than take this fucking guy out right now? I don't know what to say. That's... I've seen a lot of things that have gobsmacked me in USARC this year, but that's one of them.
Welcome back to Chicagoland. Peter Onjak leads. We're going to have 20 to go on the restart. He leads from your pole to Evans. Then it's Disparito, Freeman Jr. and Riley Spurley-Tube, the ever-winless Riley Spurley-Tube, rounding off your top 5 ahead of what should be a very exciting final 20 laps.
I don't expect it to get strung out again. I expect to see the 2 and 3 wide racing we saw at the start of this race. It's going to be fresh rubber all the way home. See some desperate drivers here, 10th, 11th, and 12th, 6, 57, and 9. Even behind them, though, the 01 and 89, they need some good runs as well. So even if you're outside the top 10 or so here in this race, you are going to be on it. Because everybody wants to win in the Windy City, don't they? I know your leader does. We're back to green.
And everyone got a fairly even getaway, maybe going back to Boback Fox.
That was a pretty clean restart.
Brandon Morris into the top 10.
Not for long, though, because Ricky Freeman Jr. just about sent the 08 there, basically telling him, bye-bye, I'm going to go challenge for the lead, as Disparito now pays the price.
When they're getting very messy behind Onjak for second. The 10 was looking for the lead, but he's got caught up in this battle just behind the leader. I think he's going to try and rip the high side here. Try and clear RFJ. See if he can pull away, try and close down Onjak, who's had an amazing restart here.
It appears the damage on the 14 that was on pit road was merely cosmetic because that car still has the pace. I don't know if Evans... They may have needed to make a slight adjustment to that car because he is not breaking away like we saw last time, as either that or just the pack has fine-tuned themselves here for the final run. Look at the Sundrop machine, the 6 car. Have not seen them all day long, but they are pulling their might in the top 10 now, as somehow, some way, the whole field didn't wreck each other on corner exit.
That looked very tetchy there for a moment. Riley Spurley-Tube into second now. Is he bearing down on Onjak off of turn 4?
We've seen these two race before at miles and a half. This is going to be interesting.
Oh yeah, their history given what happened at Charlotte. Still friendly between the two of them, I believe. However, oh, we're under caution. Oh no.
Pounded the wall. We're getting more damage as
Oh,
well. Aiden Smith
no.
involved. Rigel's day's gone from bad to worse. Masui, the 76, Dustin Shrew. I think the 95 is Daniel Sells. More involved. The 79, it looks
Rimmel.
like. Blair McKenzie
my
may have gotten a
God.
piece of that as well. So, fortunately, with these high speeds and high banks, somebody got the wall and they've slid back down
Burley
the track.
leads.
Early tube, friends off the track, but not on it. He sneaks the lead on the race back to the flag.
Where have we
Well
seen this
then.
before?
This
I
is going
just
to be a
want-
lengthy cleanup. We've got a lot of
Yeah.
damaged
Yeah, there's a
cars.
lot of cars involved.
I want to see if we
Miguel's
see
absolutely
stops here as
destroyed.
well. I imagine the
I
field
would
will
not bid if
stay
you're still
out.
in the top 10 of this field.
No.
I think if they do, it's a statement of how bad the tyre wear is. No one is pitting. No one. Okay.
No one. Only people that are going to need necessary repairs.
Oh,
I think,
Gutierrez.
down, but
And there's quite a few cars that need necessary repairs, I think.
and
20,
unfortunately,
yeah.
a lot of those teams are so small, unsponsored. They do not
Yeah.
need this crash bill on their books. But we'll have to take a look and see what happened and how that all started, honestly, because the only real front runner in that seemed to be involved was Aiden Smith.
And that once again, despite his 2 wins, throws that wildcard spot into a bit of jeopardy. So we'll see how this happened. Very much so. The biggest accident of the day so far. We'll be right back at Chicagoland.
Charging into turn 1, late race desperation strikes early as Stephen Colon knows his spot in the point standings. He is on the bubble, and Aiden Smith, unfortunately, will have to rely on the wild card, especially now. Still only 2 top 10s this season and wins, but the hits keep on coming. Bilson in their first start. Rimmel with a massive one to the left
that
of the
was-
Popeyes machine.
Oh.
Rigel, Sells, Masui gets ping-ponged around as Angel Gutierrez finishes their race off, essentially. Dustin Shrew tried to avoid high, ran out of room. Ramash goes around as well. McKenzie, Brennan, the whole back of the field taken out in this one.
Welcome back to Chicagoland. We are going to go back racing with 13 laps remaining. We have 28 cars left, 27 of which are on the lead lap. So a lot of cars taken out in that last accident. Luckily, everyone has been checked and released from the infield care centre. But it's Riley Spurley-Tube with another opportunity to win at one of these mile and a halves. And once again, in second, is Peter on Jack. What can we expect here? Riley Spurley-Tube still yet to win in his 3rd season of USARC competition.
I have to play nice. That's the only way about it. You're going to see some hard racing, but they found their limits at Charlotte. This is obviously a little bit different track, a little bit wider track, which will help, but they want this win. Everybody wants this win. Why else are you a race car driver? But I know Spurley-Tube and on Jack. It could go either way. They could say, hey, we've done this before. We don't need to wreck each other again. Or they could say, it was your fault last time. I'm the better driver. I'm taking this. And I think that's what Onjak's chosen. He jumps to the high side very early to the green flag.
The eight-
very
the eight didn't get
aggressive
going.
by Onjak.
There's a
Not
big
going out
block
to
from
cover
before.
the outside into turn 1. That puts Freeman on the inside of Onjak. 3 wide back there between Morris, Bennington, and Santiago. As here comes Ricky Freeman Jr., the X factor in this battle. Qualified good, running good, and now trying to take the lead.
Here comes the 10 as well.
Yeah.
All the
Evans
08 contact.
just-
And they've kept it green for at least a lap. It's RFJ who leads with 12 laps remaining.
I'll tell you what, that was smart from Luke Evans just to stick up to the back of the 41, let him be the battering ram, and then slide in behind and have a run. And now it's going to pay off as he tries to go for the lead.
Going to pay dividends, but for how long? Spurley-Tube back on the charge, up into second, looking for first. The caution's out again. Jesus Christ.
Oh, that's massive!
Guy and McKenzie have had a savage impact, it looks like, off of turn 2. We've got
Oh
the
my
other
gosh! Oh, it's huge.
car, Reese Kupski. There's another car involved as well. Drama. We're going to re-rack and restack them once again. Luke Evans played the restart perfectly. He gets the lead out of it, but now will have to be the driver in the shotgun seat here because those bullets are going to be flying here when we go back green.
We're not going to have any cars left. That will, without a doubt, push us underneath 25 cars remaining, which is, quite frankly, astounding for a top-level professional motor racing championship. But no one coming down pit road other than those involved. I hope Blair McKenzie is okay. That was an incredible angle to witness. So with
It's pretty much on top.
I'm a bit in shock there at what we've just seen. But without further ado, we'll be right back here at Chicagoland.
Alright, so here's the replay of what happened here, and it's... Yeah, that doesn't work. It's 3 wide up near the track, and not a single one of them makes an attempt to lift or anything. Everybody gets involved. Oh my god, what? Why would you do that? Just no attempt to lift. That was really stupid. Really no reason. You see smoke and cars everywhere, and you don't lift? Come on.
Welcome back to Chicagoland. We're going to have 8 laps to go when we restart. And hopefully those 8 laps can be green, clean, and mean in terms of racing. I expect no less. We have 20 cars left in the field. 22. Dustin Strew is still running, yeah, a lap down. 22 cars running. That is a record low for a USARC race. And at least 16 of them have retired from the race in the past 6 laps or so. So I dread to think how many are going to retire in the last 8 if we keep these same driving standards up.
Well, you don't want them to be too mean, because we've seen quite a lot of meanness today.
Maybe passive aggressive.
Yeah, that's a little bit more like it.
Well, here we go. It's all come down to this. Evans, Spurley, RFJ, Disburrito, and Boback Fox, your top 5. 8 laps to go at the line. Here we go.
Evans played the last restart perfectly, got a good jump that time. Freeman Jr. backing up third on back just a little bit. With 8 laps to go, can the 8 car do anything? Maybe even the 08s. Really to Disburrito. Will be hard charging, just like everybody else in the field. But with 15 healthy cars, there might be time for somebody even a little bit further back to drive up. Names we haven't seen in a minute, like Bennington and Santiago.
A lot of cars taking to the high line there. They're going to be 3 or 4 wide. I've just heard an impact, but we're still green. Oh, and RFJ trying to block Disburrito low. It's not going to work.
That was aggressive.
And the 10's going to try and pull away.
That's the passive-aggressive racing we were talking about.
Yeah, Evans trying to pull away. Spurley in second. Morris fighting hard with Santiago and Boback Fox. Deep driving from the 4. Oh, I don't like how these guys are racing on the inside. Way too close to one another.
While somebody likes what they're seeing, it is that 10 of Luke Evans. No direct threat just yet for the lead of this thing.
Here comes the 8.
Will follow him through the corner.
Is he in the wall? He is. Or he was.
Oh.
Definitely, unless my eyes were deceiving me, the 10 got into the wall ever so slightly, and that's going to compromise his run into turns 3 and 4. Ricky Freeman Jr. going to lead with 5 to go up the line. Then it's Spurley Tube. Then it's Evans.
Odd lapse of judgment there by race leader Luke Evans, but possibly setting up. Did not try and want to get caught napping at the end of this thing as Freeman sends it in, ripping around turns 1 and 2. We're going to have slow cars in the mix here as Evans tries to set up and rebound on Freeman, almost to the left rear of the Chevy in front of him.
Yeah, we're going to have a slow car affect the outcome of this race, possibly. Spurley Tube scraping the wall. 4 laps to go.
Evans has come right back up to the back of the 41 car. It depends on if he can close the deal. Not going to be able to just yet. He's going to go wide. That was his, befalling a couple laps ago, but I think he'll be okay again. But there is still quite a buffer between him and leader Ricky Freeman Jr.
Got a good run there.
There's
Run
still
there.
time.
Yeah, look.
Here he
Oh,
comes.
Oh, he's right there.
3 laps to go. Evans to the inside.
Gonna get the run off the corner. I think it's gonna be Evans. He's got to clear up. He's got to clear up. It's not gonna matter. No bite from the 41. Could be setting up here for something through 3 and 4. No. Runs the high side. Evans protecting the bottom. Freeman's gonna wind it up on exit again, but I don't think it's gonna be enough.
2
No, he
to
won't be able
go.
to close up. That was a bit of a buffer. But now here comes the
Spurley
41
to
to the
get
bottom.
Frito back into the mix, as well as here comes Freeman side by side, tight off the corner.
Oh, and he's lost a lot of ground there. The white flag's out this time by.
Had to lift to not send the lead to him and Evans up
Uh-oh.
into the wall. It's clear track, it's clear
Oh
racing for the
my.
10. He has to hit his marks for another mile and a half.
It's not
but
over
is
yet.
this 40 car gonna play a role in this? That's what I worry about here.
Oh no!
Oh
Leave
no!
it! And that's blocked
no!
Freeman as well. This Frito's not going to run the high side. Freeman's going to get to the inside of Evans. Where does
Oh,
Cupsy
he's
go
got-
in the
10's gonna
3?
block.
Evans is forcing it.
It's not over yet. He's left the bottom open for the 41. Here they come.
It's going to be a photo finish once again.
Side by side to the line.
I think it was Ricky Freeman Jr.
It was Ricky Freeman Jr.
Oh my!
Wow. Wins
And
his
the
second.
reversal from Charlotte. Freeman loses it by a nose there, and at the next mile and a half, he beats it by a
Incredible.
nose at the line. Incredible
Oh,
racing
my.
yet again from USARC.
You know what? This series never disappoints, does it?
Yeah, even when there's 15 or so competitive cars on track.
Quality, not quantity.
And that does wonders
That
for
has made the
Freeman's chase
wild
hope.
card even the more interesting because
Yeah.
now we have two-time winners outside the top 10 in points. Although with some heavy hitters losing out, maybe Freeman has jumped into that mark.
Yeah, for sure. Freeman, questions were starting to be asked after his win at Darlington. Didn't really show much of up until Charlotte, but yeah, there he has really punched his ticket back into the wild card spot. Just heartbreak for Evans as well. He's gone so long without a win, and he came oh so close once again. He was close at Hillside a few weeks ago in the Aaron's Pro Series. Spurley Tube as well, third again. So many people. I mean, anyone could have won that race today. It was really unpredictable, and that is what is brilliant about these ANTS races, especially at the intermediate circuits.
I still need to catch my breath from that. That was really hectic for a lot of reasons. For the racing, for the amount of cautions, from the amount of torn up race cars, from the just terrifying accidents. I mean, there was quite a few hard hits, and everyone, I think, is going to take this week to regroup and get ready for next week because they're going to need to.
Absolutely.
Well, as we take a look here at the results, sorry there, but TGR, once again, double top 5 with the 07 and 08. Spurley 2 brings home a much-needed third place. Onjak slips to 6th. Brandon Morris, a big run for the 6 car. Second Morris Motorsports car after the 89 got taken out. Comes home 7th. Bobak Fox. Caden Lemon lands himself a top 10. And Stephen Colon, although possibly with a little bit of scrutiny looking over him, rounds out your top 10.
Yeah, and looking further down, Lexi Herman with a very quietly decent 11th. Daniel Voice, same can be said for him. Luna Bennington dropping off to 13th. Still a half-decent result nonetheless. Maybe less so given the fact that there are 20 finishers, but Benedict Murdo, very quiet day at the office for the German driver in 14th. Virago Kitson with a very decent run for the part-time Fleur de Lis Motorsports entry in 15th. Zachary DeLello, another quiet day. 16th for him. Awesome Billionth in 17th. And it's Whitmer, Swab, and Vargas rounding off your top 20. And then Strew and Hupsky, the last of your finishers. That is a record low number of finishers for a USARC race. And I think as well that provokes question. Is there a problem with these intermediate circuits at ANCS? Because this is not the first time we've seen a lot of accidents and a very low finish count.
You could make that argument, but really, I mean, who's to say that this doesn't happen at Daytona? Who's to say it doesn't happen at Talladega? It really, I don't know if it's just because it's the 1.5 miles or not.
The rest of the running order is on your screen now. You can see all the cars that have retired. We neglected to mention that Maverick McCartan retired with an engine issue under green, which is a real shame after his very strong qualifying session. But nonetheless, another fantastic bit of racing here at a intermediate oval. So clearly the racing's not the issue. It's keeping these guys clean. That's one thing that needs to be addressed. Hopefully that will be remedied next week by going to Pikes Peak, a track where we have never crashed in the Premier Series of USARC. So, without further ado, thank you very much for watching here today at Chicagoland, and until next time, goodbye.